Yes, it's new spectacles time, and I need to address how big they are. Big. I know. But I don't think I'm sticking with them, to be fair, because the other ones bugged me. They was too small, and I wanted to just get something different. I was like, you know what? I'm going with the big glasses. The big glasses are going to be cool. And I've been wearing them for a day or two. I'm like, I don't know. They seem pretty big. So I'm going back to Specsavers tomorrow to see if I can get an in-between. Not so big and not so small. The Goldilocks of glasses. But anyway, I'm here to talk about E3 and its potential death. Now, I'm not saying it's going to die and disappear overnight, but the point is, I remember when I was younger and E3 came around and it's this big thing, and it still has been. It's this big thing. It's like Christmas. You know something's coming, but you don't know what it is. And you're super excited and you just sit and wait, and then you're going, I hope I get this, I hope I get that. And then the day comes around and you open it up and you're like, oh, it's brilliant. It might not have been what I wanted, but there's a couple of surprises in there. This is absolutely great. I love Christmas. E3. And them days have seemed to have passed. Now, the main reason for that is because news is never kept secret anymore. And at first, when I came away, I've spoken about this a few times, I came away from Reddit around E3. Now I'm completely off Reddit because I think the place is just toxic. But nonetheless, that's another topic. But the point is, I would always stay away from the news outlets, stay away from Reddit. Social media is not too bad because it's not as if I follow a million people. And just really kept my head in the sand because I didn't want to hear any spoilers. When they announce it, I want it to be a surprise. But now it gets to the point where it's practically impossible to hide away from it because it's not like, oh, there's a rumour, this little document someone's taken a photo of and it could be true, might not be true. Nah, the developers are just coming out and going, here's a trailer. And they're doing it 2-3 weeks before E3. And it's happening more and more and more. And at first I was going like, why? Like last year Microsoft was like, here's a few bits that we're just going to give out. I'm like, no. Save them. Save them all for E3. And it used to bug me that they do it. But this year it just kind of clicked why they do it. Because you think about it, you've got your IP. You've been working on this game and slaving over it for the last 5 years. And this week is coming around and you're like, you know what? We're about to announce it. But when we do, everyone's going to go, oh, that's amazing. Oh, something else shiny over here. I forgot what he was talking about. That's even better. And that's the problem. People's attention spans will go from one announcement to another to another. Now, when E3 comes around, I always have a little notepad and a pen and I write down every single game that takes my interest. Just so when I come to talk about it on stream or talk about it on YouTube, I've got my list so I don't forget. And from time to time, I have to quickly jump onto a news outlet and just have a rundown and go, oh yes, that peripheral was coming. I forgot to talk about that. Just to remember what on earth was said. And there is the problem. They give us too much, and what happens is you concentrate on the best and the biggest and the shiniest, and you might miss out on that little indie gem. And as a developer, if I was making a game, I'm like, I'm going to show it off at E3. It's the biggest platform around. Let's show it off. But let's leak it, if you will, a week earlier, 2 weeks earlier, on a slow news day. So we get 100% eyes on our product and people will then go off and talk about it because that's all that's out for that day. So they'll be like, did you see this trailer? No, I didn't. And then people start a conversation. They're on Discord, they're on YouTube. Everyone's talking about it because they've got nothing else better to talk about. Now, you slide your game in with another 80 games that's just launching. People will want to talk about your product, but they'll forget about it. Or they'll just give it a little bit of time because I want to talk about this big thing or that stupid thing that they've announced. And that in itself is the problem. Now, back in the day when E3 was around, I remembered I used to get my knowledge from E3, and then aside from that, it's from magazines. And that's how I used to do it. There was a few gaming websites around at the time, but there wasn't as big as the magazines. And that's the thing, the time is changed now, and it's much easier for them to get their voice out on the internet via social media, just by dropping a crumb and the internet going mad. And it's best to drop that crumb when everyone's hungry, which is a day when not much is going off, and not on E3. So first of all, that's one of the major problems. And the other thing is as well, it wouldn't surprise me, now this is speculation, it wouldn't surprise me if people pay to get that knowledge as well. Now, put it this way, to go to E3 you're going to have to pay for a booth, so that's going to cost you, but it doesn't matter, you're going to hopefully get that money back when your game's launched. But say you're like, right, tell you what, let's launch it a week earlier on a no news day. Get that crumb out there. And everyone's going to lap it up. That's great. But we could turn this into a bit of a fanfare and make some money out of it. Let's say Walmart paid us, I don't know, £10,000, and we could let them leak it out, because then next minute all the attention is looking at that outlet and looking at our game. It's double win. And it surprised me that it don't surprise me, sorry, it's every time these like Walmart's done this or Toys R Us accidentally leaked the cover art from these games, it always makes me go, how much of it was a leak? Now don't get me wrong, once or twice I think it is legitly done by accident, but some other times I'm like, and maybe when IGN get this snoop from an inside person that's working there, did they? Or did they just pay the highest price? Now again, that's me with speculation, but the point is now, they can make money from getting that knowledge out there before E3. So the other thing I want to talk about as well is the actual conference centre itself. Now obviously people getting in, it's going to cost them tickets, so the people who put on the E3 show making plenty of money. You've got all these people coming in, you've got Xbox and Sony paying for these booths and stages and all that lot, so E3 is bringing in the cash. And you don't really see Nintendo there. Nintendo always has its own direct, and it's like outside in the car lot or something like that. But this year, Microsoft's actually turned around and gone, no, we're not playing ball, because they've got to work within the confines of the stage that they've given them and also pay to be there. Whereas Microsoft own a building right across the road. It's I think it's called the Microsoft Theatre, and it's bigger than E3. Well, not bigger than the conference centre, but bigger stage than they would get. So they've gone, we will go and do our own show now. And the thing is that a few other developers have been doing that. They may have a tidbit or some trailers that are being shown at E3. It doesn't mean their presence is there. They could be just letting Sony show off their game, for instance. But the point is, more and more people are doing their own thing. Now, I appreciate when Nintendo do things like this, because I quite like how Nintendo has these Nintendo Directs where they're constantly giving you information. And I like that more. So this is the thing. E3 is expensive for the devs to get there. People want to leak prior to E3 now to be able to get maximum exposure. And I think more and more people are going to start to pull away and do their own actual things, because I think it's healthy, it's better. Everybody waits to drop all this information once a year. And as I've just spoke about, I think that's going to slowly, instead of being on a single day or 3 days, it's going to turn to a month window where people are leaking at the start and at the end of it. But with Nintendo, they do the conferences all the time. I think it's once a month or every 2 months. But the point is, they keep you fed. And I prefer that approach. And Microsoft's now doing Microsoft Wire, and I think that's once a month. But I like it, and I think this is the way the industry should go. That way they can go, here it is, once a month, instead of just cramming it all in with everybody on top of it. And the thing is, they don't get enough limelight because there's too many people competing for it. But at the same time, I could be talking out my arse, which is a very high chance that is happening. But it just seems that more and more leaks happen every single year, and it's only going to get worse and worse, to the point people are just like, let's just fucking do our own shit. So we'll see. I think E3 is going to be around, and it's going to be around for a very long time. But I think what we used to have as E3 is going to change, and what we're getting now as E3 isn't as good as when we was back in the Christmas days of going, it's coming. Now it's just like, we already know. You've leaked it, but it's here anyway. Oh, and apparently that's my cue. The monitors have gone off. That's when it's gone. Fucking wrap it up, son. So that's me done and dusted. I'm going to love you and leave you there. I don't know how long this has actually turned out to be, because the thing that was telling me how long I was recording is now on a black screen. So that's me done and dusted. Hopefully these lights worked out better than last time. We'll see when I edit it. And just forgive me, it's a process. I'm trying to learn to use all the equipment. So I love you and leave you, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys. Bye. You thought you got rid of me. I've just edited the video, and I've just noticed one other thing I wanted to say, that obviously E3 is a fantastic place for developers to actually get the games into the hands of gamers, so people can actually say what the game's actually like instead of just releasing a trailer and it's all speculation. So E3 still has that going for it, and I wanted to just address that. And the other thing I wanted to say, I'm just here with my awesome light bulb that it actually looks like my twin. But if this had glasses, this would be my twin. But anyway, light bulb moment. Oh, he's a genius. He's so funny. Shut up and just finish what you got to say. It's a shameless plug. It's time for a shameless plug. You know I never say comment, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. But what I do want to do is tell you of the Discord server that we're running at the moment. I don't know, 9 months ago, didn't even know what Discord was. Now it's my life. I love Discord. It's very, very good. It's a messaging service if you've never used it and you're an old fossil and you're like, what is the Discord? But anyway, the link to the Discord is down below. We've got about 100 strong people on there at the moment, which accumulates to about, I don't know, 10 regulars constantly talking. But the point is, it's a good bunch of gaming people. We have a chat all the time about rumours, speculations, what's good, what's bad, and it's a very good place to actually just chat about gaming. So I wanted to promote it. You can't stop me. So that's it. I'm done. I'm putting the camera down. I'm leaving. I'm off. That's it. I'm gone. See you later. Hopefully I'll see you on Discord. If I don't, I tell you now, you're off the Christmas list. I'm blurry. I don't care. You're off that Christmas list. See you later. Right. What's in here? I don't know. It's really dark. Why am I still talking? I don't know. Oh, let's shut the window. If I don't, the neighbours think I'm mad.